is ready to meet the Vikings? Okay, let's bring them out. First we have Travis Fimmel as Ragnar Lothbrok. Next we have Katheryn Winnick as Ragnar's beautiful and tough wife, Lagertha. Coming up to the stage we have George Blagden, who plays the monk Athelstan. And finally, the man who very kindly brought this show to television, Dirk Hoogstra, who is the Executive Vice President of Development and Programming for History Channel. Thank you. We thank him for bringing this show to TV. So everybody have a seat. I want to start by asking Dirk, you know, when you guys decided to do Vikings, you were coming off this smashing success of Hatfields and McCoys, which got 17 Emmy nominations, well deserved. So why did you decide to go with Vikings as your first scripted drama series?
You know, it's I actually read about it in the trades. I was just kind of looking around and saw, you know, Vikings, Michael Hurst is writing, and I immediately said, I should have thought of that. You know, I couldn't believe I hadn't thought of that. And the reason is because, you know, history's been around about 17 years, and in that time we've done documentaries on the Vikings, we've done episodes of series on the Vikings, and it always pops a ratings number. So we knew as a subject matter, it was perfect for us. And with the right actors and the right, you know, scripts and the right execution, you know, I think you see the kind of quality that we're getting.
Right. Now, speaking of the right actors, I'd love you to go down this line of amazing talent and tell us why you cast them in these particular roles. If we could start with Travis. And Dirk, tell us why you cast Travis.
I begged him for it, actually.
He just, you know, it was actually interesting because we were struggling a bit in finding that role. It's such a, you know, key role. And we were getting close to having to start production. And the folks at MGM called me and said, you've got to see this guy. His name's Travis Fimmel. He just read for it, and you know, he's Ragnar. And we looked at his read, and it just, everyone sort of knew and clicked and was like, wow, this is the guy.
Okay, great. Very good choice. A very popular choice. And tell us about Katheryn.
Well, you know, being a shield maiden is not easy to do. You know, you got to be, you know, we wanted somebody who could be, you know, play the role of a mother, you know, play the role of a wife, and also, you know, be that really strong warrior. You know, and Katheryn grew up on Taekwondo, you know, knows how to take care of herself. And, you know, you really had to have somebody who could, you know, wield a sword around and you believe it, and she definitely pulls that off.
Oh yeah, I think we believe that, don't we? Yeah. Okay, and just last, tell us about George.
You know, it's another key role, and it's you know, when Michael first explained it to us, what was great about this role is it's kind of the go-between between these two worlds, you know, and he's has to interpret for the Vikings, you know, this other culture and, you know, belief system and, you know, locations, and it's a really important, so it has to be kind of this person that you can identify with and connect to, and we just saw that with George. You know, it was, he really embodies that, you know, being between two worlds and being able to bridge the gap there.
And we'll see how long he can resist temptation.
The offer's still on the table, George.
Come and join.
You heard that?
Will you join us, please?
Now, Travis, when I met you on set in Ireland, it was pouring down rain, you were covered with mud, you had an axe in your hand, and you actually saved me from walking smack into a horse. I don't know if you remember that. But, so you are a true hero to me. But what attracted you to this role of Ragnar? Why did you want to play this guy from such a tough, gritty world?
Well, it was, when I heard about it, Michael Hurst is an amazing creative person, and his scripts were so good. And I don't know, I'm a bit of a kid at heart. I want to run around with an axe and have a different haircut, and who wouldn't want to be married to this lady? You know? But no, it's such an amazing script, you know, and I was so lucky to get it. I'm so grateful.
Yes, so you mentioned Michael Hurst, the writer on this, in case you guys don't know, also the writer of Tudors, really well known for creating incredible historical dramas. So Ragnar has gotten himself into a lot of danger so far this season. Is he equipped to get himself out of it?
He's got his axe. That's about all he uses to get out. And when I get in trouble, she's got me back. And we can always sell the monk for some money.
How much do you think he's worth?
Well, we haven't slept with him yet.
Okay, well, Katheryn, what drew you to playing this particular role, besides the fact that you get to work with these lovely men?
Oh, when I read the script, just like Travis, I was just blown away. Just the historical reference and the fact that it's based on real characters. And I'm sure many of you guys know at this point, Lagertha and Ragnar and Athelstan were real people. And I was fascinated with the Viking culture, and there's not that much information out there, so as the mythology and learning how they live their lives was really fascinating, and it was such an amazing opportunity to get cast in something like this.
And what do you love about Lagertha?
What do I love about her? What do I not love? Like, I learned so much about myself playing that role. She's not only a strong individual, but she's also in love with her husband. Kill you.
And she could.
Yes, I love also the fighting aspect and the spirit of combat, the fact that she was grown and raised as a shield maiden, and how that would be interesting to play in her day-to-day life, and how she deals with her husband and everybody else. So
Okay.
I like that.
Okay, great. Well, now, George, Travis has already made reference to a scene for which you are now very famous. And I'd like you to tell us all, because I think we all want to know, what does it say about Athelstan's character that he could resist being seduced by these two?
He's a frigid.
What does it say about his character? Well, it was the first scene I filmed on Vikings. First time on set. Yeah. So, there was not really any acting required. I was terrified. I had these two amazing, lovely people half naked in front of me asking to sleep with me. It was, yeah, I don't know, but it was kind of, I guess, he's a really devout, religious Anglo-Saxon monk, and this is the first time he's even really seen a woman at all this close to him, because the monastery at Lindisfarne is an all-male environment. So, and the fact that she's got a blanket barely wrapped around her is, I think it's kind of just so alien, and he wouldn't even know where to start. Like,
This is a very good place to start, though. You have to start somewhere. It's a very good place to start.
So yeah, he's very religious.
That would be, I think it would be a big jump going from beginner to advanced. You know?
Yes, exactly. No intermediate is happening here. Okay, so Travis, we've been talking about the historical accuracy that's gone into this series, and there were two Viking ship replicas built, those amazing dragon boats. They're each 56 feet long, and they weigh 2.5 tons. And one of them is seaworthy. It was put in the water in Ireland. The other one was used on a soundstage. So, Travis, tell us a little bit about what it's like to work on these boats.
It really makes you feel like you're actually a Viking in a way, you know. There's one scene where Rolla and I are in the boat, and we actually row it by ourselves, just with 2 oars, this huge boat. So they really made it, you know, it's a real working boat. And we had amazing scenes when we shot the storm stuff. They were dumping water on us from huge front-end loaders and the wind machines, and I think the gimbal broke one night when we were doing a night shoot and we all fell to one side. You know, it makes it fun. I like that stuff. You know? But I don't think these guys, George was on the boat for a little bit.
Yes, I was.
But you didn't get the...
Tied
Your
up
mate
by
was
his,
on
tied
the
up
boat
by his
for-
neck.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't get to do the storm stuff. That was the funnest night I had shooting. It was the coldest night too. But and Floki's such a great character. You know, it was fun watching him do his little thing. But it was very wet and very cold, and I loved it. Yeah. I knew what I was getting back to, you know.
Well, Katheryn, as Dirk mentioned, you are a martial arts champion, and you're also, I don't know if you guys know this, she's a certified bodyguard, so do not mess with her. We're all very safe here. But I'm curious about what attracted you to the art of fighting and what new skills you had to learn for Vikings.
My first love was martial arts. It started when I was 7 years old, and I got my first junior black belt at 13 and started a school at 16. So for me, I loved the physical side of the training of martial arts, but also the mental side, which is, it's very much goes hand in hand. You can be physically very strong, but it's a bit of it's a huge mental strength that you achieve when you train 4 or 5 hours a day. So for something like this, being a shield maiden was completely different. I couldn't throw a side kick or a roundhouse kick or jumping, spinning back kick. Like, it's the shield maiden wouldn't necessarily do that. So I had to learn how to fight with a shield and a sword, which was brand new for me. And it was fun. I think I was the first girl, like the only girl on set for the first 3 months with these hunky Viking men. So
You poor thing, Katheryn.
it was not hard. I was definitely a big tomboy growing up, so I went back to my roots on that.
Was it tough fighting in that armor? Was it restrictive at all? That leather?
Joan is a costume designer, and she also did tutor. She's so incredible in terms of the details of using different leathers and making it personable. And you know, as Vikings, you only had 1 or 2 outfits, so she would create an armor within our costumes by different leathers, and that was a bit of a challenge, but also you really felt that this is what they would have maybe worn or had, so that was a great gift for us.
And you two have actually fought, you and Travis,
Yes,
in some
yes,
scenes.
yes.
Did you have instant fight chemistry? You can chime in.
I didn't know. I thought it was just a big, long sex scene. I didn't know we were fighting. No, that's foreplay in Viking talk. I just read this thing. It says, please be aware that members of the audience may be under 18. Get out if you're under 18. No, but that's so fun. It makes our relationship so interesting, you know, and yeah, it was fun.
When I first screen tested opposite him, it was a chemistry test, and as soon as he walks in the room, I'm like, how can you not have chemistry with him? And his piercing eyes, so it was, it was nice.
You guys.
George is actually...
Should we please?
George, you want to tell them about your romance at the moment? In real life?
We're actually going to ask George about something else. We won't put him on the spot for that right now. But
It's my slave.
But George, when I interviewed you before, when we were in Ireland, you told me about some of the personal research that you had done to play this role, and something that was very emotional for you, you said, was actually going to the site in Lindisfarne in northern England where this raid really happened. So tell us a little bit about that experience and how it was for you.
So I went to Lindisfarne Island in our pre-production weeks. I kind of asked if I could have 3 or 4 days to go and explore it, because I didn't really know what the atmosphere was like, and I couldn't really imagine what this environment would be like for these monks. I mean, I went to boarding school as a kid, so I kind of have some idea of what it's like to be in an isolated environment. But like, I thought, you know, I'm going to go and explore, and it was so different to how I imagined. It had, it's this. I kind of thought it was just going to be this little piece of land off the coast that you walked over a bridge to. That's how Michael made it out to me, or you know, I'd heard about. And it's about 3 or 4 miles wide, the island, and it's 1.5 miles out to sea. And you drive across this causeway when the tide's out, but 1,200 years ago there wasn't any tarmac to drive across, so you'd have to literally wait until you saw the tide going out, and then peg it across, and often people would die because they didn't run fast enough for the tide, because it's a 2-mile run out to the island. So it was a really dangerous place, and when you got on the island you kind of felt like you might be stuck there forever, type thing. Yeah, you had to be off the island by 4, otherwise you had to stay the night, and they had these emergency hostels and rooms that you could sleep in, and it was a lot scarier than I thought it might have been, just off the coast of Northumberland in England. But yeah, no, it was amazing, and you got to see where the monastery was, and actually they've got the ruins of the abbey, which was built a few hundred years after where our series is set. And it's kind of got the same set out, and there's this ruined staircase that you can climb and look out directly east. And it's kind of where you see in the show the window that we're looking out and seeing the storm raging. It was the same kind of view. So just to sit there, I was kind of goosebumpy. It was really, really a good impact for me and my character. It's good to get into it.
Yeah, and he will change a lot as we head through the season. From that scared guy looking out the window.
Yes, he
So.
will. Yeah, well, he's around these two, so you know.
So, Travis, do you think Ragnar's a good influence on Athelstan, or a bad influence?
No, of course, a good influence, yes. 100%. No, we're going to maybe teach him how to fight and that sort of stuff, and hopefully one day maybe we'll take him on a raid.
Ooh.
You know.
Wow.
That would be. We'd like to see that. I think.
Yeah.
Would you guys?
You
like
still
to
got to
see
do
that?
one thing before.
Yeah. I'd like to see that. Okay, I want to ask you guys just to tease a little bit without giving away spoilers, but I want you guys to tease a little bit about what's going to happen with your characters for the second half of the season coming up. So, Travis, if you could give us just a few hints about what's in store for Ragnar.
Shit hits a fan, really. No, obviously you can feel a lot of tension between Ragnar and the Earl, so that's certainly going to be a big climax. My character's, nothing's ever enough, so he's going to keep raiding for sure, and he gets in some pretty bad environments and bites off a bit more than he can chew. And yeah, there is that scene coming between us three in episode 9. Rock on.
Katheryn, does he speak the truth?
Okay. You know, I think all our characters, and I can speak for myself, Lagertha's character is definitely challenged, and there's a lot more struggle with her, as well as our relationship is tested, I would say. And there's a lot more responsibility with Lagertha has in terms of dealing with the community and the Vikings and society, and how do you make decisions within the community. So I don't know how much I'm allowed to actually say.
It's hard to, you know,
It's hard to
not
answer that
spoil,
without-
you know, spoil the
But
stories.
I think you guys will enjoy it.
The show gets so good.
Yeah.
We were
Really
talking yesterday about what our favorite episodes were. Mine's 7. Dirk's
The
is
finale,
9.
the finale episode is my favorite episode.
And Priest, what were you?
Yeah, I was 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So can you hint for us a little bit, George, about what's going to happen to your character? Without giving away.
Absolutely not. I
He's taken a vow of silence.
Yeah.
He's really into the monk character.
Among other vows. No, it's, what I will say is, it's such a gift to be given a character like Athelstan by such a talented writer like Michael, who gives you a massive arc to play with. Athelstan is so different at the end of the series to what he is at the start, and to be able to play a character like that who goes through so many changes and has lots of exciting adventures is really good fun.
Okay.
It's really,
Well,
really good fun.
well, Dirk, we were talking about favorite episodes, and earlier you told me that you had one coming up. So what can you tease to us a little bit?
Well, you know what, I think my favorite episode is 9, but I think I can talk a little bit about 8, because I was speaking with Michael Hurst, and that's his favorite episode. And what he really wanted to do in that episode is explore the pagan belief system in a much deeper way. And I would say that it's, especially for George's character, there's a lot of sort of conflict there, and it's a very different episode than the rest of the series in a really good way. You know, when he sent me an email after that episode was cut, and he just wrote with an exclamation point, "This is paganism." You know, he really feels like it's something that people haven't seen before.